Hey guys, it's the Flick Critic here. So today we're going to be finishing off the Dark Knight Trilogy Blu-ray reviews with the last film in the trilogy, The Dark Knight Rises. For any new viewers, I think you should know the way that I rate these Blu-rays. I first start off with the packaging, I then go on to the content, and then I go to the special features, and then the movie itself, and then I find an average of those scores. So we're going to start off with the packaging on this Blu-ray. On this Blu-ray, there's a picture of the Dark Knight himself in front of a bat symbol, which is basically made out of crumbling buildings. The title, The Dark Knight Rises, a few of the actors that worked in the movie, the director Christopher Nolan, and a quote about the movie. Over on the back, there isn't any sort of information about the video or audio quality. However, it is in 1080p, and some of the scenes are in IMAX, so it switches between normal 35mm and IMAX format. The audio is also at 5.1. That's pretty much all of the information that you need to know. Most of the back is basically just about the special features and a few quotes talking about how the movie is. There's also 2 pictures of scenes from the movie and sort of like an advertisement for the Dark Knight Rises app so that you can get a bit more content. Over on the inside, you get 3 discs as well as an ultraviolet. The first is the actual Blu-ray disc of the movie itself, the second is a Blu-ray disc of the special features, and the third is finally the DVD version of the movie. The set also comes with an ultraviolet code. Don't bother using that one, I have redeemed it already. It also comes with another page talking about how the Dark Knight Rises Effects app can unlock exclusive content. For the packaging itself, I think that it's okay, similar to the Dark Knight. However, I know that this is something that most Blu-rays have, but I really just don't like the way that the hinge is handled, and it's kind of boring to look at. So I'm going to give the packaging a 4 out of 5. It's not that great, but it's okay. Now, onto the content. This is where things start to become a lot better. As I said in my Dark Knight review, I was a little disappointed with how some of the colors were washed out. The people at Warner probably listened to all of the complaints and decided to really up their game this time. This time the audio and video presentation is flawless, and as such there isn't really that much to talk about since there really aren't any problems with this. So overall, the content will get a 5 out of 5 as the audio and video presentation is flawless and there is absolutely no problems with it. On to the special features side. As you can see on the back, it does say that there are over 3 hours of bonus features, including a documentary about the Batmobile, a special feature called Ending the Night, which basically talks about how they came to create the epic conclusion to the Dark Knight trilogy with The Dark Knight Rises, and it pretty much just says, and much more. Overall, the special features are extremely extensive and do give a very, very good, in-depth view of how the movie itself was made. The people at Warner seem to have listened to the Dark Knight Blu-ray reviews because, as I said in my Dark Knight review, there was a serious lack of special features in that Blu-ray release. However, in this Blu-ray release, there's so much. In fact, it took me about over 3 hours. There's just so many special features in this movie that it's kind of amazing, actually. For the special features, this Blu-ray release is going to be getting a 5 out of 5. I don't have any problems with it, just like the audio and video presentation. Now on to the movie. Now this movie received a lot of critical acclaim when it first came out. There was a lot of backlash later though, and talking about how this movie just wasn't as good of a conclusion and that it just didn't live up to the standards set by The Dark Knight. However, I completely disagree with those people. Yes, this movie is not as good as The Dark Knight. It is not as deep as The Dark Knight, and it is not as well written as The Dark Knight. However, this movie has an emotional core that I don't think The Dark Knight had. This movie made me care so much about these characters, and the way that it ended made me feel completely satisfied, and I really did feel like I just went on a 3-movie journey with these people, and now I was finally seeing it all come to an end. However, this movie does have a bunch of problems, and all of them are story-wise. This movie does have a bunch of major plot holes, but while watching this movie, you don't really care about them because you're so invested in the characters themselves. Because of this, I'm going to give the movie a 4.5 out of 5, as while it is not as good as The Dark Knight, It is a very fitting conclusion and did make me feel very satisfied. For an overall score, this Blu-ray release receives a 4.6 out of 5. It is an extremely good buy, and it is not disappointing at all. I would definitely recommend this Blu-ray to anyone who loves a good Blu-ray. So that's my review of the Dark Knight Rises Blu-ray, and that ends my Dark Knight Trilogy Blu-ray reviews. Look out for my Star Wars reviews, because those are coming out next. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, and peace out.